All right, welcome back. So you've definitely seen the ads for low T, right? They're everywhere, promising a super quick fix for low energy and drive. But what if the real solutions, the most powerful ones, aren't in a bottle at all? Today, we're diving into the science-backed ways you can improve testosterone naturally.
I mean, those commercials make it all sound so simple, don't they? Just take this pill and bam! Your energy's back, your libido's back. But our hormones are this incredibly complex system. And today, we're going to get past all that marketing hype and look at what the actual science has to say.
Okay, so before we can even begin to talk about solutions, we have to really understand the problem. And when it comes to testosterone, a single low number on a lab test, well, it almost never tells the whole story.
And here's a huge point that gets missed all the time. Our hormones change as we get older. That's a totally natural part of life. So comparing your testosterone levels at, say, 50 or 60 to what they were at 25, it's like comparing apples and oranges. Context is absolutely everything.
You know, you should really think of that number on the blood test as a symptom, not the actual root cause. A lot of the time, it's just pointing to something else going on with our overall health and lifestyle. So the most important first step is to figure out the why before you even think about a solution.
And this is a really big deal. The source material makes it clear that when you introduce testosterone from an outside source, your body can actually slow down or even just stop making its own. It's this feedback loop that can make you dependent long-term, which is exactly why it's so important to explore the natural options first.
On top of that, the truth is, we still don't have all the answers about the long-term safety of supplementation. And that uncertainty just makes the case for focusing on what we can control, our health habits, even stronger. So let's look at the things that make the biggest impact.
So would you look at all the research, it really boils down to three foundational pillars of health that have the biggest, most direct impact on our hormones. Let's break them down.
This is probably the single most powerful lever you can possibly pull. According to the source, managing your body weight, and especially your body fat percentage, is just absolutely critical for healthy testosterone levels. If you're going to focus on one thing, this is it. And here's the cool, kind of scary science behind it. There's an enzyme called aromatase, and it lives in our fat cells. The more belly fat you have, the more of this enzyme you have working, and its main job is to convert your testosterone into estrogen. So yeah, excess fat is literally working against your T levels.
Now this might look super simple, but that little +1 tells a huge story. Research shows that for every single point you drop your BMI, your testosterone level can go up by about 1 point. It's a direct, measurable impact. Pretty cool, right?
Pillar number 2 is tied very closely to the first one, avoiding diabetes. The connection here is incredibly strong. Get this, over a 10-year period, the risk for developing abnormally low testosterone more than doubles for men with diabetes. Doubles!
And pillar number 3, which probably won't come as a surprise to anyone, is regular exercise. But here's the thing, it's not just any exercise. The research points to a very specific combination that seems to be the most effective for boosting testosterone production.
So the winning formula seems to be a mix of aerobic training, stuff that gets your heart rate up, and resistance training, like lifting weights. But, and this is a really important but, more is not always better. Overtraining, especially if you're also cutting calories like crazy, can actually make your testosterone levels drop. So balance is the key.
All right, so those are the big 3 pillars. But beyond them, our daily choices and even our environment are constantly shaping our hormonal landscape every single day.
Okay, this one is a total game changer for so many people. Your body does its most important hormone production work while you're asleep, specifically during those deep REM cycles. If your sleep is constantly cut short or just broken up, you're literally robbing yourself of that critical production window.
Next up, there are a few key things to try and avoid. We know tobacco use has been shown to reduce testosterone. Excessive alcohol, and here we're talking more than 2 drinks a day, can actually increase that conversion of testosterone to estrogen, and long-term use of opioid pain meds can also seriously lower your T levels.
Now here's a word you might not have heard before, xenobiotics. The easiest way to think of them is as chemical imposters that come from our environment. They get into our bodies and they act like our hormones, which can throw our whole natural system out of whack. Some researchers even think these could be a major reason average testosterone levels have been dropping for decades.
So what's the game plan? Well, this table gives us some simple, practical steps. You can avoid BPA by just not microwaving food in plastic and using BPA-free bottles. For phthalates, start checking the labels on your soaps, shampoos, and colognes. And for organophosphates, which are in pesticides, choosing organic produce whenever you can is a fantastic strategy.
And finally, let's talk about the fuel for your hormonal engine. What's on your plate? The right food choices can have a really profound effect.
The nutritional approach here is actually pretty straightforward. On one hand, you want to cut back on things like excessive sugar, processed junk, and too much animal fat. And on the other hand, you want to load up on whole foods, things like colorful fruits and veggies, nuts like Brazil nuts, green tea, and high-fiber foods like ground flaxseed.
So what about all those supplements you see advertised? Well, the source material is crystal clear on this. Lifestyle changes like your diet and your exercise habits will always trump any pill you can take. Now sure, certain nutrients might offer some extra benefits, but you gotta see them as a supporting player, not the star of the show.
Wow. Okay, we have covered a lot of ground. So let's boil it all down and put everything together into a simple, clear action plan.
Here it is, just 4 steps. Step 1, manage your weight. That's the biggest factor. Step 2, exercise smart with that winning combo of cardio and resistance training. Step 3, make sleep a non-negotiable priority and get a handle on your stress. And finally, step 4, fuel your body with clean, whole foods and do what you can to avoid those environmental toxins.
And we'll end with this thought. Maybe the most powerful thing any of us can do is to just reframe the whole question. Instead of obsessing over a single number, what if we focused on the bigger picture? Because when you build a healthy lifestyle, you're not just supporting one hormone, you're building a foundation for total, long-term well-being. And that really is a goal worth chasing.